Okay, all right, look, I'm gonna help you out here. We're gonna do problems 19 through 22. Okay, 19 through 22. So let's see if I can help you solve these problems. We have a perfume bottle is the shape of a triangular pyramid. So a triangular pyramid there. So I'm gonna highlight. I need to know what the figure is. It's a triangular pyramid. And from there I can base my equation, what the equation should look like. And the equation for this one would be volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. Okay. By now we should know that the capital B is the area of the base. Okay. I've explained to you many times, what the area of the base is. So if I'm using this one, oh, wait a minute, I forgot something. Pyramid, so that means we're going to have to divide by 3. Okay, so I have a triangular pyramid, so that means I'm actually going to use this. Triangular pyramid, the base is a triangle, so this is actually going to be this, because we need to find the area of a triangle. So then I'm going to look at my equation and see what else is given to me here. And it says there, the volume of the bottle is, in math, is means equals 55. So they're telling me the volume equals 55. They're also telling me the height is 22 centimeters. So that the height is equal to 22. Okay. And so now what I'm going to do is input these numbers into the equation. So volume equals 55, so this becomes 55. The height is 22, so we're going to put the height. But they don't give me the capital B or the area of the base, so we're going to just keep it as capital B. So then we got to solve this. We got to solve it algebraically. Okay. Now I could do this. I can say, okay, 22 times, I can do trial and error, check H1, 22 times one of these, and then divide by 3. So 22 times 5 divided by 3, and if that's 55, that's my answer. Or try 22 times 11 divided by 3, if that's 55, that's your answer. But that's going to take you a little long, and it's going to get frustrating after a while. So it's better to solve it algebraically, where you're going to get the answer at the first time you do it. This is multiplication, this is division. Well, I want to get rid of this division. And what I'm going to do is do the opposite. If it's divided by 3, I'm going to multiply by 3. And I have to multiply both sides by 3. Because it's an equation. You want to keep things balanced. And so now this will cancel each other out. 3 over 3 is just 1. So now I got rid of that. And 55 times 3 is 165. And now I have 22 times 3. All I did was put the number in front. 22 times 1 of, now it's again 22 times 1 of these has to give you 165. So we got rid of the division. So what we can do is now we can go back and see if we can again guess and check. You work backwards. 22 times 5 does it give 165? That's the answer. Or we can keep solving it algebraically. Whereas we do the opposite. Well, this is multiplication. The opposite is to divide, and divide both sides by 22. That way you get rid of this, that's 1, and the capital B is by itself. And so all you gotta do is divide 165 divided by 22. Okay. And so let's try 5. 22 times 5 is 10, that's 110. So obviously it's not going to be 5, because we can still go a little further. 22 times, it can be 11, it can be 7.5. Now I know it can't be D, because if I did 22 times 5 and it's 110, I'm supposed to get to at least 165. So that's not going to work. Anything less than this is not going to work. So D is canceled. So now I'm going to try these two. Well, let's try the decimal one. 22 times 7.5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 2 plus 1 is 11. 7 times 2 is 14. carry the 1. 7 times 2 plus 1 is 15. 0, 5, 6, 1. And so there's one number to the right of the decimal. And so I get 165. So that means that 22 goes into 165 7.5 times, which is the answer. Oh. Okay, so that means it goes in 7.5 times, because 22 times 7.5 is 165. So same thing for this number 20. Okay, again, you have a triangular pyramid. So again, the equation is volume equals the area of the base times the height divided by 3. Okay. Now, how do I know what I need? Well, let's see what it's given to you. I can see that the volume, it says that the volume is equals, so then the volume equals 400. It also gives me the height, so height equals 5. So that means that the capital B, we don't know. So let me substitute the numbers in there. So 400 equals the capital B times 5 divided by 3. Okay, again, you solve it algebraically. Okay, well, if you're divided by 3, the opposite is to multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply both sides. This goes away. And now 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 2 zeros, so it's 1200. And this is just, I'm just going to put the number in the front. And so 5 times something gives you 1200. Well, again, this is multiplication. The opposite is to divide, so you divide both sides by 5. This goes away, and now the capital B is isolated. And so now it's 1200 divided by 5. Well, 1200 divided by 5. See some space here. And so 1200 divided by 5. 5 goes into 12 once. Bring down the 0. 5 into 20 is 4, which is 20. Bring down the 0. And 5 into 0 is 0, so it's 140. 140. Oh, sorry. My fault. I almost made a mistake. 240. Sorry. 5 into 12 is 2 times. My fault. Okay. So it is capital B, or the area of the base, is 240. I made a mistake here. So 5 goes into 12 2 times. I put the 10. I just didn't put the right quotient. Okay. So it's 2, not 1. All right. Let's look at the next one there. Number 21. Number 21, you have a block of cheese that's in the form of a triangular prism. Okay. So now you don't have a pyramid. You have a prism. So here we have this equation. We're not going to divide by 3 because it's not a pyramid. Like here, we divided by 3 because it was a pyramid. Here, no pyramid. We have a prism. I know this triangular part means that my base is a triangle. Okay, those are my two bases. This is triangular. So I know to find the area of a triangle, this is actually base times height divided by 2. And then, of course, times the height, or how long the prism is. So then let me check and to see what is given to me. And I can see there they've given me some information. They're telling me that the volume is 960. So then they're giving me the volume. So I'm going to put there volume equals 960. Okay. And so now let's see if we can plug in the numbers there. And so that means that 960 will go here. Okay. The base and height, this part comes from the triangle itself. I look at my triangle here. This is only my triangle right there. This little square, it means that there's perpendicular lines, which means this is my base and this is my height of the triangle. So then these are the numbers I'm going to use that go inside these brackets. Because remember, this capital B, the area of the base, is these brackets, the area of this triangle. Perpendicular lines mean I have my base and height, because they must meet at 90-degree angle. So we have 12 times 16 divided by 2 brackets, and then they don't give me this, so I'm just going to put an H. Okay. Now I know 960 I'm going to rewrite this 12 times 16 divided by 2 times the height. Okay? And so now I put there. Can I mentally divide this before I multiply? Can I cut this in half? And you should be able to. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And then 12 times 8 is 96. So then 96 times what is 960? Well, you should be able to see the answer by now. Or, how can I figure this out? To isolate for the h, well, divide both sides by 96. And of course, 96 goes into 960 10 times. Another one here. We have, again, we have a triangular prism. Okay, a triangular prism. Again, let's write the equation. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. Okay, but in reality, this prism, it has a triangular base, so that means that my triangles is my base. Oops, that's my base. This is also the base. Okay, and so let's change this capital B, area of the base, to the area of a triangle, which is base times height divided by 2 times the height. Now we're not going to divide by 3 because this is a prism, not a pyramid. And so let's see what's given to me. Look what it says here. The volume is equal. So then the volume equals 54. So that means I'm going to put 54 as my volume. And then I got to check my bracket. Inside the brackets is the area of the base. In other words, this part is the capital B, which is this part here. That's the capital B. Those two triangles. And so I look at my triangles part to get these numbers. And I notice that these two guys are the ones that connect and make perpendicular lines here. Now some of you are going to say this 5 here, well this would be 5, yes. But this line and this line do not meet at a right angle. See, that's not a right angle. Or this 5 and this 4 do not meet at a right angle. So I can't use this as a height or a base. The only ones that make perpendicular lines or meet at a 90-degree angle is these two numbers. So this is my base and height. And so I'm going to put there of the triangle. So 4 times 3 times 2 in brackets. They don't give me this height, which is the one on the outside. But I can do this. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So then 54 is equal to 6 times the height. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And so now 6 times what is 54? Or 54 divided by 6 to cancel, to isolate for the h. And of course you can see that 6 times 9 is 54. Okay, all right, good luck.